Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another bonus episode of the Entrepreneur Experience podcast. You are in the right spot if you are learning to be an entrepreneur or you're a seasoned veteran of being an entrepreneur and you're addicted to launching businesses or growing teams, looking at leadership or how to market in the modern day while trying to build and scale your business. This is the podcast for you. You're in the right spot. And in fact, talking about scaling, Joseph Caro and I recently talked about this at a seminar and workshop called Growth Club. You've probably heard about it. If you haven't heard about it, it's something to really check out. It's by ActionCOACH of Kansas City. Now, Joe is not here today because he's doing Growth Club in San Diego right now. So if you're part of the San Diego crew and you know Joe, give him a shout. So to set up this bonus episode, we are giving you an inside look to what we talked about at Growth Club, which was an exclusive event where you had to pay good money to be able to hear what we had to say. So consider yourself very privileged to be able to listen to this episode, and I hope it brings you so much value and drives you to take action with your business and continue on your scalable systems and growth. This one is all about AI and growing your business. So we cut up both of our teaching points and made it make sense because this was more of a workshop where there's parts of it where you got to actually participate. So in podcast form, it's not the best to just post the whole thing. So we've cut up the best segments from it. And without further ado, here it is.
I do want to give everybody here just recognition for making your business a number one priority today. If you're a business owner, great job. If you are upper management and actually making sure the business owner is doing what they're supposed to do, great job for you as well. Because we all know entrepreneurs are crazy. We have all these ideas. And the best thing for a crazy entrepreneur is to have a really stable management team, correct? So if you are the entrepreneur and your management team, there's a lot of work to be done, but we'll figure that out. Jared's going to actually help out with a lot of those things. So I want to welcome everybody to Growth Club. Growth Club is one of those workshops where we just push you as an entrepreneur and as a management team to really prioritize the planning of your business, prioritize what it means to actually have a business. Because things get crazy throughout business, right? Things get crazy, we do what we do, and all of a sudden we sometimes feel like business takes over everything, right? Whether you're the manager or you're the entrepreneur, business can actually control your life if you let it do it. You can also control your business and tell it what to do if you actually prioritize that as well. And so today is just helping you reprioritize what's important in your business, because your business is the vehicle to get you to where you want to get to. That's really what it is. You might have a passion business. You might not even like what you do. You might just like being an entrepreneur, and here's an opportunity. You fell into it, right? But your business is an amazing vehicle financially and time-wise to give you the life that you want if you tell your business what that actually looks like. So Growth Club is done every quarter so that we can be intentional about doing that. Sound good? Perfect. Today, we're going to really focus on AI. So after the first 3 notes pages, there's a page called BFO, Blinding Flashes of the Obvious. Does anybody want to take a wild guess as to what you might want to write on the page that says BFO, Blinding Flashes of the Obvious? Aha moments, right? Those moments where it's like, oh my gosh, that information is so relevant, I probably need to actually implement that, or that is the answer to my prayer, or that is an answer to a challenge that I'm having. You might want to write it here, because if you write it on your notes, you might be going through all your notes just to find that spot. So this page is really designed for those really big aha moments. Now, for the entrepreneur, the next page says parking lot, okay? Park good ideas for later. What does that mean, entrepreneur? That means not right now, right? That shiny object, that squirrel that you want to implement right away because somebody else is doing it that has $1 million more in revenue than you are, that's probably a great idea, but maybe for later, right? If there's priorities to take care of in your business, if it's a system breakdown or leadership or anything like that, it's still worth taking care of all the fundamentals first before you implement any wild ideas that will waste your time measuring and it may or may not work right now. So make sure you park those great ideas, and every quarter we come to Growth Club, look back at them and say, is it time or is it not time? If you're anything like me, The parking lot is full, and by the time I look at them, 90% of them go away. I'm like, that was a horrible idea. I'm so thankful I didn't do it, right? So just park them. That saves you so much time in implementation. Because like I said, if you're a crazy entrepreneur like me, a dreamer, a visionary, I want to get everything done right now. And sometimes that is amazing. Most of the time that's a flaw if you don't prioritize the fundamentals. Let me go over a little history of ActionCOACH. I think it's fair for you to understand that this is more than just me. I'm a representative. I'm a business coach, but I'm part of the Kansas City firm. But ActionCOACH in itself is a global organization and one of its kind. Our vision is world abundance through business re-education. As a whole, our goal is that the world is abundant through entrepreneurship by re-educating business owners on what it actually means to be a business owner, what it means to be successful. The reason why we want abundance through re-education is because most entrepreneurs and most high-level managers don't get regular education about how to do this. We actually go in it, we bite the dust a couple of times, and we're like, okay, let's either not do that again, or let me just claim insanity, keep doing it over and over again, hoping for a different result, right? That's kind of how it goes. So our job is to really help entrepreneurs re-educate them so that their business can actually thrive, because so many people, including the entrepreneur, benefit from a very successful business. Brad Sugars is the actual founder. If you don't know who he is, he's all over YouTube. He's good friends with Gary Vee and Grant Cardone, so he's pretty high up there. But he started this business about 35 years ago in his bedroom. He had a printing company in Australia, and he was noticing a lot of his clients coming and then stop coming. And when he saw a couple of them just out about in life, he's like, how come you guys stop coming to my print shop? Do you not like me anymore? And more often than not, they said, no, it's because we actually ran out of business. We went bankrupt. We don't know what we're doing. So he started doing seminars and workshops as a print company in there to help save his clients from going out of business so they can keep buying from him. That was the very first selfish intention of business coaching. And he realized that there was something there, that people just don't get this information. And the majority of businesses actually fail because we don't know what we're doing most of the time, right? Did you know that business failure is is a very high percentage in the United States? It's about 60 to 70% the first 5 years. The ones who survive, the next 5 years, half of them are probably going to be gone. Burnout is a big thing when it comes to business. Now there's over 1,400 coaching firms globally, and I'm proud to say that through God's grace, ActionCOACH South Kansas City is consistently making top 100 globally. So our team is doing an amazing job, and what that tells me is we're helping many, many people. It's really not about me. I'm not the best coach in the world. I'm an amazing coach, I think, but I'm not the best coach. But our firm takes so much pride in helping entrepreneurs win here in Kansas City. We're making top 100 firms, and my San Diego firm is doing top 50. So that's just a little bit about what we are here. As an entrepreneur, I don't know if you feel the same way I do, but it's really, really hard just to sit back and say, what did I do right? Right? Because sometimes as entrepreneurs, and I know this for myself, it's like, well, I should be doing that anyway, so why am I celebrating that win? Well, the truth of the matter is you should celebrate your wins. It's really hard to be an entrepreneur, and it's really hard to change your mindset from something negative to positive. So if you could look down and see your wins and give yourself that piece by piece, you could really, really change your mindset into becoming a successful entrepreneur. Obviously, there's a lot more to do with it, but mindset is really where it starts. Now, why are we here? Growth Club mainly is about learning and planning. Did you know that every hour invested in planning saves about 3 to 4 hours in execution? When you wing something, you might get a lot right, but you might fall into the trap of, oh shoot, I didn't think about that, right? But the things that you actually are intentional about planning, you typically hit every single important event or moment or whatever you want to do because you planned it. Like last night, I practiced this thing like at least 99 times. At least. Well, probably more like 78, but still, it felt like 99, right? So every time you invest an hour in planning, it actually helps you execute much better. And in business, because it is that vehicle or that client that could write you that $1 million check, it's really important that you actually are intentional about planning the success of your business. Here are some planning pitfalls just to kind of help you understand where you might fall, and I'm going to have a solution about that. So 3 planning pitfalls that I find is that some people are just over planners. Extremely ambitious, very visionary. Everything they think about, they want to apply to their plan immediately. How many of you guys fall into that boat? That's me. My hand is really, really high. I love implementing amazing ideas, whether or not I have the money for it. That's the problem, right? We also have wild guessers, right? These are people that, you know what, this is not my strength. You know what, 100% growth next year sounds pretty good to me. The problem with wild guessers is if it's not measured by anything, it cannot be mastered at all. You can't master what you don't measure. And so if you wildly guess a result that you want, how are you basing that goal off of? What are you basing it off of? Have you done it before? Right? Let's say you're at $100 million a year in revenue. 100% growth means you're at what? 200 million. That could actually bankrupt a company if you grow that big that fast. Do you have the capital for it? So wild guessing, although it sounds really nice, we want to avoid that. We want to be a little more tactical with our planning. And then lastly is we have predictable control freaks. These are people that actually want to win and be successful, but they hate and they're afraid of losing so badly that they just grow just enough so they can say, I did it, I grew, but I didn't lose anything, right? I always say, and Brad Sugars always says, you have to be scared and excited at the same time. Your goals have to excite you, but they also have to scare the crap out of you, right? That's how you know you're in a decent place to start. Because if you're not scared, you're not pushing yourself. If you're not excited, you're not thinking or you're not dreaming big enough, okay? This is our solution. Just have a clear approach, clear outcome. Right? Let's get clear with what you actually want to accomplish by the end of next quarter, whether it be revenue, profit, sales increase, size of team, an additional person. Let's just at least get clear with an outcome. I want to encourage everybody to resist the urge of getting it perfect today. And here, let me give you a little bit of a hint here. You're going to get a perfect plan for next quarter, and guess what's going to happen? Stuff. And guess what you most likely have to do? Stuff to change your plan, okay? The plan is just a roadmap. As you're on that path, you might have to change it just a little bit. It's like a boat, right? A boat knows the location it's gonna go to, but because of rough seas or air, it might have to course correct little by little, but it knows exactly where it's gonna go. And that's really what your plan's all about. It's for you to be able to know exactly where you should end up. In order for us to look forward and plan, we do have to understand what worked and what didn't work. It's kind of like when you're driving, you have that big windshield in front of you, and if you pay attention to the destination, you're not gonna veer off to the left or the right? Now, like in a car, if you have the rear view mirror, sometimes you have to look back at what's behind you, some of the lessons you learned, how far you went. One of my favorite things to do is when I'm driving through Utah. Anybody drove through Utah when you're in the Big Old Canyon, there's mountains all around you? And when it's like you're driving and you don't even think that you're getting anywhere because it's just road and that big mountain in front of you that doesn't look like it's getting bigger. But then when you look in the back mirror, you're like, oh, that destination I was just at is way back there. So you know that you actually gained mileage, right? Like you actually got somewhere. That's like business. When you're planning ahead, sometimes you got to look back and say what worked, what didn't work, so I can protect the future plan of the business and actually do everything I can to implement what can work for my business. Implementing a follow-up process after the job is done to kind of say, hey, how do we do, right? Some of us, or some of you, are you guys too scared to do that sometimes, maybe? Just the unknown, the insecurity around that. But you know what? How much good feedback can you get if you truly hear the heart of your client and their experience? What could you tweak? What could you make better? What could you keep and implement that you didn't even know that you do naturally, right? I think that's amazing. On top of that, what else could you ask them after you follow up? Do you want to do more work with me? Do you know anybody else that might need what you got from me? And can I have a 5-star review? Those are 3 amazing questions and 3 amazing things you can get from a follow-up process. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of what we're going to learn about today. I'm going to set up Jared Taylor. Jared's our guest speaker when it comes to AI. I'm amazed at how much of his business is automated. I love watching how Jared does that. All the new ideas and everything. Let me go back to one of the scariest things about being an entrepreneur. And I want to say scary, but it's concerning, right? That burnout is the #1 cause of failure in American business, actually in global business alone, okay? And there's plenty of reasons to that. And sometimes we think of the logical things, oh, we don't have capital, or we don't have leads coming in, I'm not converting, I'm not this, I'm not that. But the real reason why burnout happens is because most entrepreneurs get into the toxic thinking of, I have to do everything on my own. Right? Have you ever heard the term or the saying, if I want things done right, I have to what? Do it myself. Okay? Congratulations, entrepreneur. You just bought yourself a job for the rest of your life, if you think that way, right? Even if you're the manager, you cannot manage and get results if you are the one correcting and doing it all yourself. You still have to empower your team or somebody or something to do what you're not good at to get the result. But burnout is the number one cause of business failure. Let me give you the statistics that Forbes gives. About 70% of businesses will fail in their first 5 years. The next 5 years, half of the ones who survive the first 5 will no longer be around. And again, it goes back to burnout, right? So one of the things that we know we have to do is we have to scale our business. What does that mean? We have to systemize, we have to hire people, we have to do all those basic functions. But if you're doing everything on your own right now, that could feel very scary, very stressful, and very daunting, correct? Because if you're already burnt out at your max capacity, scaling is going to require you to really be strategic about how you master, not manage, master your time, right? And so that's why I brought Jared up here, because technology today really does an amazing job at allowing us to no longer have to be the person that's the expert, right? There's so much stuff out there that actually helps increase your capacity without burning out if you do it the right way. All right? Now, let's get back, let's really understand why we're doing this. Because at the end of the day, you're entrepreneurs or you're upper management of a crazy entrepreneur trying to build this, a commercial, profitable enterprise that could one day work without you. Okay? Most of us have the commercial part down. We have a business. We're trading a service or a skill, or we're trading a product for money, correct? Entrepreneurs, tell me if you're doing something different. Managers, you're just making sure that happens, right? We're making sure we're getting that check. The second part is profitable. As an owner of a business, as a manager, our job is not just to bring in money, but to help the business keep money. Why is that important? Well, we have to reinvest money into our business if we want to grow, number one. We have to pay ourselves. Well, that's probably number one. We got to pay ourselves. Number two, we have to reinvest. Number three, there's this tax man that comes around once a year that asks for money, right? And if we don't have the money in the account, we can't pay the tax man. And that's another form of burnout, by the way, is dealing with the IRS, all right? But the last part is that can work without you. Now, that's where most business owners fail. That's where most managers get it wrong. It's not about us being the best and doing everything ourselves. It's about us understanding what we're trying to accomplish, finding the right things and people in place to get it done better than us, right? And that's how we build a successful business, a commercial, profitable enterprise that can work without you. Now, I'm gonna go over this really quick. Normally, I go into so much detail about this, but for the sake of the AI talk, I'm just gonna glance over this, but help you understand why we're trying to accomplish what we're doing. This is the 6 steps to build a successful business. Number one, it's a foundation. It's about mastering the fundamentals of business. Here's the 4 things. If you wanna write it down quick, I'm gonna give it to you. Number one, your vision. You gotta master that vision. You have to know where you're going. Number 2 is your time. You have to master your time, okay? The cool thing about time is it's unbiased. It doesn't care how rich or poor you are. It doesn't care what gender. It doesn't care how you grew up or not. You have all the same amount of time. And as an entrepreneur, we have to master that. Number 3, money. You have to master your money. And 4, delivery, okay? Now, Last Growth Club is recorded. If you want it, we went over those 4 things in great detail. If you want that Last Growth Club, you were here, we'll send it to you. You can see all that. But I'm gonna skim through this. So once we master mastery, we actually eliminate a lot of what I call organized chaos in business. How many feel like sometimes your business is just organized chaos, right? Especially if you're working with a lot of crazy people, organized chaos, right? But number 2, we create stability after mastery through really understanding marketing. And marketing is one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, I'll just put something here, put something there, and we think we actually have a great marketing plan. That's not true. First of all, if you're not talking to the right people, you won't get the right leads. What does that mean? You're not gonna convert as high as you want to. So when it comes to marketing, it's really about a strong brand, taking that brand, talking to the ideal people you wanna talk to so you can convince them to use you. And when you could do that well, you can actually track the data and actually forecast what you should do. From marketing, you build cash through systems, about being efficient, right? How many of you have systems, but they're just floating around in your brain. Maybe part of the business is systemized, the other part's in your brain, or most of it's in your brain and you're starting to write everything down. But either way, there's actually systems that you're implementing right now. It's just a matter of if it's duplicatable or not. If it's in your brain, trust me, it's not duplicatable, even for you. So systems actually help build cash and profit because now we're being efficient. And when you go to the next level of teams, you're able to hire better people because better people want to follow better systems. And when you have better people following better systems, you get better results in your business, right? So that's really important. Then you go up to scaling. Once you have all four of those things, it's easier to scale your business, grow it to the level of what you're able to. And then from there, you get freedom and results. You can sell your business. You can keep it as an asset. Now, I went through maybe sometimes 20 years just in these 6 steps. But what I want you to really think about is when Jared comes and talks about the AI portion, or just basically the how do I make things easier for myself portion, I want you to think marketing, systems, and teams. Because when I coach a lot of businesses, that's where the majority of the bottleneck comes from is my marketing. Because again, if you're there to do everything yourself and you're not a professional marketer, it'll bottleneck right there. Systems, if it's in your brain, it bottlenecks right there. Teams, if you have a team but they have no idea what to do because they have to keep going to you, there's a bottleneck right there. All right, lastly, I'm gonna go over a formula because there's another area that when Jared's talking, I want you to think about as an entrepreneur, if this is what I'm in charge of, how can I implement automations and people to help me with this? So this is the formula for profit. This is the formula that every entrepreneur, every manager should actually pay attention to. And it goes like this. It's a formula that says leads times conversion rate equals customers. Customers times number of transactions times average dollar sell equals revenue. And revenue multiplied by your profit margin is your net profit. How many of you want more customers? Revenue and profit, right? Managers and business owners combined. That's what we're shooting for. More or better customers, better revenue, and better profit margins, correct? You control the type of leads coming in and the leads coming in through your efforts in marketing and networking and podcasting and all that kind of stuff. You are also in charge of conversion ratios. You're in charge of sales, right? Who's good at asking for business? Bingo. If we can work on that, your conversion ratio will shoot up, I promise. Just ask for the business. Number of transactions. How many of you know that you have one customer, you can actually make more with that one customer? You can ask for more business. You can ask them to come back, right? Average dollar sale. That's on you. You control your pricing. You control your ability to upsell. You control your ability to tell them, hey, here are some additional things that I can help you with for an additional investment. Let's move forward with that, right? And we are also in charge of our profit margins. Well, at least you should be. Who here loves the budget? All right, for those of you who don't, I can guarantee you there's a lot of profit to be made if we just budget, right? Or if you find out better places to buy materials or, things like that. And as Jared talks about these things, here are some questions I want you to ask. How can I increase my business capacity in those areas without burning out? Okay? The without burning out is key here. Because I can push you to implement, but if I won't see you next Growth Club because you burnt out and you quit, that's not going to be good, right? The idea is saying, with the ideas that I brought to the table, with the ideas Jared's bringing to the table, how can I actually do it and implement it without the burnout, right? And next is, which of your tasks could be done better / cheaper if done by others or done by tech? We live in an amazing age right now where we have highly skilled people and technology that can actually help take the burden off of you if you just pause and look outwardly and say, what is available for me to get help with? And I want to help you avoid doing that before you're forced to do it. Because you will be forced to think about these things. I promise you, you will be. Let me introduce Jared to you. If you guys don't know him, Jared is an amazing videographer. Actually, we met because somebody knew him from BNI and then said, you need to talk to Jared. He's a crazy dreamer, by the way. So sometimes our coaching sessions get overhauled by just, what if we did this? What if we did that? Actually, I really want to do this. I'm like, Jared, stop. Let's get back to the basics. But now he's really good at doing that. But I'm so amazed at how a lot of the implementation is actually automated through a lot of AI platforms. If there's anything AI that I need help with, I'm like, Kira, call Jared. call Jared. He probably knows it. He's probably already playing around with the new technology about that. So today I asked Jared to just talk about how he's used certain things to automate or make more profit in certain areas of his business, especially the areas that are easily bottlenecked, which are systems, sales, things like that. So with that being said, if you guys can help me give a warm welcome to Jared Taylor, that would be amazing. Jared, are you ready?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I am Jared Taylor with JT Visuals. Yes, we spell it without the I because there's more than meets the eye when it comes to video content. And what we mean by that is that we don't just focus on providing services, but we try to provide solutions. And that's really where ActionCOACH has really come in and really helped as well, so that we can empower others with what they're trying to do. Because we work with businesses, we don't go out and do weddings or whatever. So, but we found one of the best methods is through video podcasting, and with that, once we started niching down, we started realizing, holy moly, there is a lot here. There is a lot to be done, and you get those little nuances, and then that's when you go, oh, I could automate this or that, and we just started another list for our team. This is a good thing to implement right away. Is write down, kind of like a parking lot idea, write down things that are like, oh, if this part was automated or systemized better, then make a big wish list of like, if AI could do this or this or this, and then it actually work for you, or automation. So today I'm really excited though. Thank you for having me, Joe. I'm super excited and pumped for 3 steps to expand your business capacity with AI. But we have to really understand whatever level you're at with AI. If you're 100% all in, maybe this ain't for you. But if you're 99% or below, you must know that this is big. There's on ChatGPT alone, in 2 months, they had 100 million users. That's just one platform. And there's billions invested across industries, and they're already reshaping creative and business workflows because of this. This is internet big. Imagine, okay, let's have some fun real quick, okay? So I'm 33, okay? So I grew up with LimeWire, hogging up the dial-up, and then who's on the internet? I need to use the phone. Who remembers that? So we saw the internet start to overhaul everything. And everyone's talking about the internet. But did you know at the beginning of the internet, some people were like, oh, it's of the devil. Oh, it's evil. Like people were so upset. AI is internet big. And we're right at the pivotal point of it because it's going to develop even faster than what internet did. So this wave is super reshaping industries. You have this choice now. So you can kind of go, oh, I know enough, and then put your head in the sand of this massive tidal wave that's coming in. Or you can choose to let it equip you and you surf the wave. And then it's the most amazing thing ever. Have you ever heard surfers describe like getting in that tunnel? Like it's nothing? I went tubing once on the lake, and that actually happened on a tube, and I was like, what the heck? Because I got sunk under right when they were taking off, but it was like all over my head, and it was one of the most awesome things ever. This is like that. Let's learn to surf the wave and make AI work for us. And we have to find ways to implement it. Will it replace you? Probably. Let's not be naive. But will it replace you if you're harnessing it? No, because now it makes you more efficient. And so if you make that choice today to adopt it at this level, because we're going to be wrong about a lot of things. I'm going to be wrong about like, oh, AI will never take over video podcasts, and then it's going to happen. Oh, I'm in construction. It'll never take that over. 20 years from now, they're going to have the AI robots. I don't know. This is such an unknown thing, and that's why you got to surf the wave. You got to surf it. And you got to make that decision today. But just as a preface, before we get into the 3 ways, the 3 steps to help
I want to go over all the different types of AI that I've run into. If you have more questions, of course, message me. But one of the types is chat AI. So these are things like ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, all of those where you're chatting, going back and forth. It's great. We're all probably using it for drafting emails, maybe reports, maybe that business plan that you want to see, in December. Brainstorming content. I call it wrangling the AI. Like, you need to keep prompt engineering it if it's going to work right, because the first result is usually not the best, so you got to keep going. But that's when brainstorming comes into play. We came up with the Entrepreneur Experience Podcast name with AI, even though it didn't name it. So we had like 2,000 ideas of names, and we went through those and checked them. But then we're like, it sparked the idea, so it helped with brainstorming. It sparked our human creativity to come up with the name, and then summarize data in meetings. So, did you know though, hopefully this is a use case someone could use. If you have an iPhone, go to the Notes app, and I'm sure you can do it on Android somehow. Go to the Notes app, you can attach a recording, meaning like you go to it and say record. So every time you're in one of those client meetings or onboarding meetings or whatever, and you just wish you had your admin assistant or tell your admin assistant to do this, they hit record on the whole meeting. And then immediately after, this is like the one good thing I think Apple Intelligence does, is it gives you an instant summary after that. So then you can have the conversation recap email already written, moment of. There's a lot more you can do with that. So use that, or use some form of that. You can really free up a lot of your after a meeting time. There's image generation AI, and this image generation AI are things like Midjourney, there's Dolly, there's Adobe Firefly, and there's Canva. Dude, Canva, I designed a book cover with Canva on AI once. It was pretty cool. Then this is great for like social media graphics, and it's been funny seeing this transition, because at first it's like, I'm not scared of it. It does a terrible job. It doesn't even know how to spell. But then you go over and you use the right one, and you're like, holy moly, actually, this is, wow. Lots of people are either about to lose their jobs that are social media graphic people, or they're harnessing it so they could have more capacity to do more. It's one or the other. It's great for mock-ups and product design, ad creative. Even photo ads are still really good these days, so you could use it to help come up with photos. We do podcasts, and so it helps with podcast recordings and getting that thumbnail to go out there. I used Midjourney like 2 years ago for this, and this was a concept of a movie that I'm gonna end up making one of these days. The time isn't right, it's a parking lot idea, it's a huge one, but this is the concept. So if anybody needs to go into a business meeting to get a concept, to get investors to invest in your business, this is great. If you can get them to visualize it. Now AI can visualize things. I see us making a movie on Netflix, all with AI, and it's about to get crazy. Everyone's gonna have their own version of every movie, and lots of time will be wasted, but also lots of creativity can happen. And I also used it to expand. There's another one. You can expand things. Sometimes there's square thumbnails, and in the graphic world, it's like, wait, this should be horizontal, but it doesn't fit. How do I expand it? And then you just expand it. Then there's video AI. This is the one that should scare me, but I'm trying to harness this first, and it's actually gonna equip me. So some of that is with Google VO. You've seen a lot of the gorilla stuff or the Sasquatch. I don't know if anyone's running into that whole trend. Yeah. We've seen, actually ChatGPT can do a little bit here too. There's one called Hedra, and we made a video podcast clip where we turned the Skin Babes here, that's their podcast with the med spa, and we turned them into Skin Babies. And then it's their actual voices, and it's crazy. It's just crazy, guys. And before it was like the noodles with, if you've seen it, with the noodles with Will Smith. And they're like, we have nothing to fear. 1 year later, boom, you can't even tell. And now with video AI, unfortunately, video is no longer proof for everything. It used to be proof. But now it's like anything can be generated with text. And it's hard to tell what's real or not. This is great though for explainer or training videos if you need those kind of videos. It's great for marketing campaigns if you do it right. And it can help with AI avatars. And it can help with video editing.
So podcasting in Kansas City, Brenda, with JT Visuals. It's a game changer.
Oh, absolutely, Barty. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Yeah, Randy. I dare you.
I don't know what they said at the end, but that was something that we created just with text, and I actually sent it to someone named Randy. And then I haven't run it as an ad or anything. I don't know if that's the picture I want to have for my business, but this was something I just did in 5 minutes. So now it's like, holy moly, there's a lot. And that was Google VO, and you just type it, text. For real, it's crazy. You can have fun with your kids with it too. Make a movie with your kids. And then another type is audio plus plug-in audio. And what I mean by that is it embeds into systems and embeds into creative software to be able to run AI within your program. And a good thing for that is Adobe Podcast Enhance. Dude, if you're recording and you hear those podcasts, it sounds like someone's echoing in the back of the room. This Adobe Podcast Enhance can really bring it out. It's crazy. Sometimes you just gotta watch out on this one because what it's doing is it's learning your voice and then striking that whole recording and just making AI say things in your voice. So sometimes it doesn't sound exactly like you, but if you use it, they have sliders and you can enhance it. This has rescued some projects for us. No joke. There was a wedding video I edited once and someone was recording in the back and I was like, man, what they said right there was really awesome, but they didn't have them mic'd up. Then I was able to fit that into a highlight video, and with music underneath, it was able to come back, and I got those words to help for a better moment for them, which is really cool. So clear podcast recordings, it removes background noises. We removed a whole chainsaw before. Dude, I think this would be awesome. What are those things where if you did a podcast and it takes so much noise that it never would have worked before, but now it could? I don't know, miking up to get a haircut in your podcasting while getting a haircut and the buzzers are going, you could do it now. So these are the possibilities it really brings. There is voice cloning and overdub. We have pitch changes. It can learn your voice, and then it can, wait, I forgot to say this, or I said it wrong, and you could go back in and re-edit just that line to help it, just that part, sound smoother. So anybody could be word perfect on this now. The world is crazy now. This is my favorite, okay? So I grew up in the music world, but music AI, it's there. 100% there. If you're a musician, you got to harness this. Brand is going to win for you. If you brand yourself, anybody can make a hit song today. You could do it it's so fast too. We've made some growth club songs. There's that song with chicken, banana. If you have kids and that's what the heck? What is up with this song? And people put that song on there and get millions of views on YouTube. They're getting paid from YouTube for this. And it's the stupidest thing. It's just 2 words the whole time. And then so we're let's do this with the AI. And then we make the AI go, what was it, meatballs and bananas or something? I don't know. So you can have a lot of fun with this. This will catch attention though. This is where it can be good for your business because if you catch attention, now you have someone's ears. So examples for that is Suno. That's the one I recommend. And Google Labs is a good one too. People are going text to audio podcast like nothing. And this is great for background tracks for ads. We started doing that. We have a podcast intro that we could not find the stock music for that was already existing from humans, so that we went in and prompted AI from text and described what we wanted, and it came up and it was able to come up with a podcast intro theme song. And it was really awesome. So it's great for custom jingles. If anyone wants to make a commercial, you are now equipped to make commercials. With video AI combined with the music AI, I want you to hire me, but you don't have to, I guess. And you can do it with royalty free, and like I said, good for podcast intros. But let's pick on someone. Legacy Lawns is here. So, Legacy Lawns, I made you a jingle. You guys want to hear it? All right, ready?
Legacy lawns where your lawn is our legacy.
That's music AI, guys. And that song and that jingle was so good. And we have the commercial rights for it. It's not just like owned by the AI because we pay for it. And so, Tony, if you use that throughout a lot of your marketing, I think that would really catch. So I'll give it to you for $10,000. Or if you sign up for one of our membership plans, I'll give it to you for free. There's no other version of that one. No one, that's actually the cool thing too. No one can replicate that. It just generated, and it's one of a kind now. And that's what's great from picking stock music. People were making commercials for the Super Bowl. Well, the commercial right after used that exact same track, and they're like, oh crap, oops. They got this from a stock music site. But now, if you had every individual, no one else has this, it feels a lot better for your brand. But AI agents, this is the big deal. This is the big thing. This can be a lot of different things. Here, an example is ChatGPT. There's agent mode on there. Highly recommend playing around with that. You can get through multi-step automations with this, and it's great for research, summarizing, and emailing, not just coming up with the copy, but it will actually just do it for you. It works just like a virtual employee or VA. So this is big. This is where it is right now. It's just landed. There's a lot of implementation that can be done here. So this really integrates the non-integratable. What I did with this was NFL draft. Anybody doing like fantasy drafts? I actually had ChatGPT do my draft during the draft time. But wait, it's not compatible with ESPN's app. Well, it is with agents. It's like a browser, and it goes in and moves a mouse and does things. I said, smack talk my friend now, and it smack talked him, but it's terrible at the smack talk copy because it's trying to be too PR or something. But there's two sides of the coin for AI, and that's ideas and implementation. So on this, we have the idea person. It is now their world. The idea person can now be more creative and strategic and come up with implementation plans. But on the flip side, the people that are good at executing plans now can get ideas. So AI really bridges both worlds for this. So what we've been waiting for, 3 steps to take to expand your business capacity with AI. This is the practical part. The first step is to discover your bottlenecks, as we've already talked about. Use AI to discover your bottlenecks. Feed it all the things. Say, hey, guide me through this. Ask me questions one by one, or else it'll just go like a whole article. Too long, didn't read. So you need to wrangle it and say, to ask me this one by one, as if I'm a 3rd grader. Sometimes you can do that. I've had it like analyze legal documents and then like, tell me this like I'm a 3rd grader, like just to interpret what I'm about to sign up for. It's really cool. This will help with discovering your bottlenecks, but another method to discover your bottlenecks is to manually do it and write down all the hats, all the roles. It doesn't matter, make it an ugly paper, whatever you want to use. Write down every single thing that you need for your business, and then mark the spots where if this was off my plate, I would free up so much capacity. Circle those. You can now know to research, oh, I need to implement systems better. I need more SOPs. And so some common ones, though, are like, oh, the emails are piling up. You could figure out a way to use AI to help with that. Data entry and scheduling. Well, there's AI appointment setters with AI agents, and that is big now. It's a huge deal. Content creation delays or ideas for content. And slow lead follow-up. These are just some common things. This is a big one, slow lead follow-up, because if you're the fastest, the likelihood of responding quick, of someone booking with you, is astronomically huge. It's crazy. I was like, what is it, like 100%? No, it's larger than that. It's like when they're asking, if you can get back to them in 0.5 seconds with good information and how to move forward, this is big deal. So with the 3 steps, one of them was discover bottlenecks and one of them was become scalable. What is this word scalable? We all say it in the business world. Most of us know it, but for real, are you ready? And here are some things that I've thought of for this is capacity for more customers without burning out. Could you today take on more customers without burning out? Systems built for consistent customer experience. So thinking of your customer first here. Messaging, this can help you get your messaging correct, really dial in, get your team to have the messaging right. And then this is the biggest one, money model math needs to include profit. I'm going to be fully transparent with you. This is where I am. And this is why I'm saying this. And I wish I would have done it a little differently before, but I also didn't know what I was getting into because I was that technician when I started my business 5 years ago. I'm going to be the videographer. I'm going to do it. It's just me. Oh yeah, this sounds good. I'm replacing my old part-time job, so that's the same number, but that's the top line revenue. So with the 5 ways formula and everything else, what do you feel comfortable with having your profits? You need to be profitable. And now this is what we're doing is including this. This is a non-negotiable. We have to be profitable. It's not the first thing to cut off to do something at cost for someone to discount just so you get a job. So once this is all set up and ready, you're now scalable and a lot more can happen. And it feels good to be at this point. It feels so good. More people that come in, easy. So then you just get better at it. So just some examples, like you could do some real world scaling with AI for chatbots, frequently asked questions, have the AI agent answer those frequently asked questions. AI scheduling assistance is a huge deal. Content repurposing. So we utilize some AI to help do this. So we go from one long podcast to 20 posts or however many so everyone can be consistent on social media as well. And we saw this happen with one of our clients and we're like, dang, we were about to do something like this too, but they got ahead of us and it's cool. I want them to win, but we could have provided this for them, is taking a podcast transcript and making a book guide for it. But also, what if all the podcasts that you just recorded could be transcribed into an actual book? Because time on brand is what's going to win. Time on brand is important. So you go from social media to gain attention, to point people to something longer. And then when they're on something longer, they listen to a longer podcast. They're deeper embedded into your brand. And so then they're thinking of you a lot more and want to get involved more. And then on top of this is if you had some sort of book or a journal might be a little short, but it's like daily if you do a journal. And you can easily make this and publish it on Amazon Publishing. And then you have something listed on Amazon. And it's like very, very, very low operation cost. They just take high profits. So if you want to go independent and then do it a different way, go with someone else who can do that. On this, we had discover bottlenecks, and then we had become scalable. After that, it's implementation. This is the biggest thing that's stopping a lot of people with AI is implementing it. Cool, you got the world's best idea. Now what are you gonna do? And this is the biggest step. There are companies that will help you implement if you need them. I know we can do some. AI, it's your choice. Are you gonna choose for it to replace you or choose for it to equip you? It can write code, but just because you made a video game, this is real, I saw someone make a video game in ChatGPT, it still needs hosting. It needs to go somewhere to be implemented. It still has to live on a website. AI can design, but it still needs that brand direction. And it can draft, but still needs human reviews. So it's not 100% done for you, but it's 90% efficient. So now you've opened up a lot of capacity. So here are some ways that you can implement today. Use it to write SOP, standard operating procedures, the checklist, the thing that you need to quality control everything that you do. Use it to help write this, and that will expand some of your capacity. It'll free up a lot of time. If you've ever written an SOP manually, and now you can feed AI, actually you just do the voice feature and just talk to it, and then tell it to write an SOP. Of course you edit it, but another one is coming up with job descriptions. If you need to hire someone, but you need to do it fast, this can help with job descriptions. It's really awesome. This is my absolute favorite one though. Contextualizing your business with content that you see online that you wish you could implement right away. So how many of you guys watch YouTube for your business at all? Like, and you're learning something, you see a new thing. Oh, this is a way to get better conversions on my funnels or websites or this or that, or you should do this in your business. Feed it the transcript of that video. YouTube transcribes everything, copy and paste it into ChatGPT, build a knowledge base is what it's called, and then ask it, but for my business, how would I do this? This is what's on my website, and I want to follow this framework. Give me line by line what I should do, and then it could do that. It could tell you. It's all in how you wrangle the AI. I did it for some books too. There's Alex Hormozy books and things like that. So I filtered it with all of his insights on his book. And then now I ask it, hey, I want to make a new offer for my business. How do I do this with this? And I just give it my idea. And it's like, oh, you need to like say it differently. You need to put a hook here and here. And it gives several options. And then I discern what is good and what I should do. So that's my favorite thing. Phone systems is huge. I personally haven't played around with this, but I think we're there because I've been on the receiving end. It's not that it's sounding human, it's just that it is there. And so if someone wants to do something quick, and it's not to replace you or be unpersonal, I think you still need that personal touch, but it can help with the quick things, like booking. Cold outreach, it could help with that, and it can help with follow-ups to be fast. Someone always answers is what's nice with AI. It's a great way. Appointment setters, it can go and be an appointment setter. For real, I would say Google this, but I don't know that that's the thing anymore. It's just search it. You know, they're using their AI now. And SEO and keyword research, it could help with this. Of course, you still need the discernment, but critiquing content too, and like feed it, hey, I did this, how can I make it better? And then if you have an admin assistant, empower them by saying, I release you to go and use AI for this, if you're not already, because that is great. It can help them do more and feel like they can do more with their competency for drafting emails, summarizing meetings, scheduling automation, creating those SOPs or templates, and also AI for lead generation is a huge deal now. This is another way to implement. You can research ideal clients with this, and then you can personalize that outreach. You can dangle something that you know they want because you've made a client attraction profile now of like not just who am I going for, but how do I track that person? And then that is where this can come in. So you could generate some copy, consistent follow-ups, lead magnets is my favorite. That's what I was just talking about. But I gotta warn you, there are some pitfalls. We've all seen this. And there's some mindset shifts we need, and that is it's not perfect just because there's results. Doesn't mean it's great. It's fast, it's impressive. I saw it like cut up a podcast once, and I was like, wow. And everyone's like, have you seen this, Jared? Sending it to me, and I'm like, we actually do it faster though, because we do it while recording instead of after. So, I don't know. The results are impressive, but it wasn't good compared to other things. So you always want to verify the outputs. It's got to still like have your brand voice. It's got to have all of that and context. So your AI next steps. Here are some things you can do today. More things. List your bottlenecks, okay? Spend 1 hour on a chat AI today. Or heck, on the way home, do the voice call safely. Do the voice call feature on ChatGPT or Gemini. You can build a process or a system today, or reinvest, and then also you can reinvest that time into growth now, if this isn't already growth, because this is growth. So just the closing thoughts. AI will expand your capacity, even if you add to your schedule to do 1 hour a day to research AI it will expand your capacity, even though it feels like you're adding on more. Then you can have a phone call with ChatGPT on your way home and try to implement just one thing. This is an elephant. It's huge. It's a tidal wave. To learn to surf, you got to wreck a few times. Do just one thing, at least. And that's it. That's what I got today. So I hope that everyone can feel empowered or encouraged or have more ideas about how to use AI. There's a lot more to this as I was about to research for this. I dug in more even today, this morning. I woke up, saw something, and I'm like, whoa. It's like developing ultra fast. It's so hard to keep up. So just stick to what you know and invest the time to learn things new with AI. Thank you.